sure a lot of y'all seen it with Shannon Sharpe and Katt Williams. And me personally, I grew up, on the West Coast. I'm from the West Coast. I was born on the West Coast, from both the Bay Area and LA. And I grew up off watching Friday After Next. You know what I'm saying? I grew up watching Katt Williams, and to me personally, like Katt Williams is an absolute legend. And it's perfect because it's kind of funny. Like I don't know if it's only because like their stature, but I would always compare Kevin Hart and Katt Williams. And to me personally, I always found Kevin Hart to be a little watered down, a little too mainstream for me. And don't get me wrong, like I love his positive energy, like his overall branding, and he has some funny moments. Like I loved him in the 40-year-old version, and I also loved him in Soul Plane. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely funny, but to me, Cat Williams, that's my type of humor. Like I like that raw, uncut, like you know what I mean, just straight up humor. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a little, it sounds a little like harsh and unfiltered, but that's like me. That's kind of my personality as well. So to me, Cat Williams is already a legend, and even after watching this interview, I have so much more respect for him. Like there were so many things. Like I was always a fan, but there was a lot of things I did not know. I did not know like how deep his story went and how married he was to his craft, and how, you know what I mean, and how like how much work he put into his craft. So I understand him respectfully, him feeling like how he's been feeling on this interview. You know what I'm saying? So, man, no further ado. You know what I mean? Let's go into the video.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of
Bro, I love Cat Williams' energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think, like the world does too. Like, look at the numbers these interviews are doing. You know what I mean? This interview specifically has done. And I think because we're in such a climate of like, we're in such a fake ass like era and generation and like time period in life right now that like this level of authenticity and this level of just like straight upness, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's appreciated. And this is what we've been lacking, you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because like the new year just started and he coming in hot. Like this energy, like I fuck with it though, you know what I mean? He's standing on his shit.
words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people.
Yo, that's some real shit though. Like, I feel like Katt Williams, I mean, he doing a lot in the interview, right? But if you really look at it, like, he's just really standing for what's right, what's wrong. You know what I mean? The truth and the lie. You know what I mean? The light and the dark. God and the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really see what he's trying, like, he talking about the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, I mean, I personally watched the entire interview. And when you learn all the things he went through, like just being on the street and being out of his house independent at 13 years old, as educated and articulate, and you know what I mean, how much work he's put in. Like when he was talking about how he would study all the greats, whether they be white comedians, black comedians, and he would literally count how many laughs a comedian would get each night. You know what I mean? Like he's really dissected his craft and he's mastered it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand when someone comes into your field, into your industry, in your lane, and they don't have the same standard as you. The integrity is different, right? And they're getting in these positions knowing that they haven't put the same work that you put in. knowing that they took these little shortcuts and shit. Like that would make me feel some type of way too. You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with Katt on this. Like his integrity, he's not compromising his integrity for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And Shannon Sharpe is right. These are some big names you're going after, but how you feel is how you feel. You know what I'm saying? If you really feel about it, you're gonna do something about it, right?
That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.
Hi, I'm Zoe Gong. As a traditional Chinese medicine chef and food therapist, I love using Squarespace to
They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Me personally, like, like you see a lot of celebrities, right? Talk about like all this like Illuminati shit in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, what do I know? You know what I'm saying? But me being born and raised out here, like obviously and me also, I'm a photographer. I work specifically in the music industry, like I've been around celebrities and all that, but I've heard some crazy stories and all that, but I always thought like this was a little bit conspiracy theorist. Like Katt's always been heavy on that, but but now you see things in the news like Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, and all these people like in the upper echelon and shit like that. It probably like shit, motherfuckers really be selling their soul or some shit for like the limelight, and like that's really crazy. Like he's probably seen a lot of stuff, and he probably knows a lot, but it's weird as a normal person. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, like to the average person, it kind of I don't know. Like I don't know how to digest it because it's so unfathomable to me. It's such a different lifestyle that I'm used to. So I don't know. Like a part of me kind of sounds like a little bit of paranoia. But then another part of me is kind of like, maybe that's the truth right there. You know what I'm saying? Especially the shit you're seeing with Diddy. And I know people that personally work with Diddy, and I've heard some crazy shit. And also growing up in LA, we would call Hollywood like Holly weird. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of weird shit that happens up there.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Because Shannon Sharpe got to be a different person than that other person.
Absolutely.
And he always was. That doesn't change when I change teams. That remains the same. That's how a legacy is built.
So
all of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, there's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there.
I told him no. What y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous. But in my face, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on
Oh, wait.
behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Have you ever been on tour with any of these guys?
Every guy I mentioned to you is not funny out there in real life. So no. Faison's never done his own tour in 30
Oh, not
years.
Big
Steve Harvey
Perm, though.
don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky,
Like, he just calling people out on this shit, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he just letting them know there's levels to this shit, you know what I'm saying? Before you claim something that you aren't, it's like, you know, to make sure you put the work in, you know what I mean? That I have, like, I get it, man. Katt, and like, you know, Katt's right, though. Katt, everything he does is like, it's hilarious, you know what I'm saying? Katt, all of Katt's specials, like he said, like, I don't know if y'all seen the interview with the radio host. I forgot her name, but in Atlanta, that shit was so funny. Like, Katt's just a real individual, and I'm not even mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how he live and die. This is a lifestyle for him. He's a real stand-up comedian, and he's not taking anything less than, you know what I mean, that he's given to this craft. You know what I'm saying? So I can respect that, especially in today's climate. Like I was saying, this level of transparency and authenticity, like, we need more of this.
Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with that. Like, you got to be doing karaoke around the country to make that work.
Right.
And he is. But I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my 19th 100-city tour. I'm not gonna have a conversation with these lazy bums that'll take a shortcut at any point. Yes, it's easier for you to juice than to get in the gym, but you don't get to bring that body in here talking crazy.
Talk about how good you look.
What? No, there's too many comics out there that are putting their life on the line to tell these jokes, man.
Okay. Let's get to your upbringing. We're going to circle back and we'll get some...
I want to protect him real quick because you had.
Yeah, that's crazy, and that he's going after Titans. You know what I mean? He's going after big people, Steve Harvey. You know what I mean? Kevin Hart, like Cedric the Entertainer. But shit, if you gonna, you know what I mean? If you about it, be about it. You know. So I really fuck with Katt Williams. If you haven't seen this interview, it's a long interview, but it's definitely worth it. I watched the entirety today. You know what I'm saying? And it was such a good interview. And I've always been a fan of Katt Williams, but I learned so much throughout this interview. I didn't even know he spent time in the Bay, that he got a lot of the game from the Bay, like a lot of the prepping game, and the courage to get to go to LA. Like, that was his transition. Like, after he touched down in the Bay, that's when he realized, all right, I'm ready for LA. You know what I mean? That's where he got his range. So, like, I fuck with Katt Williams for sure. Like, and I hope you guys like this reaction. Let me know what you think in the comments of the, you know, what you thought of versus him and Kevin Hart and like everything else you say.